Hi, welcome back to the channel. My name's Mike.
And I'm me, like aka Hannah. Today we are going to discuss some, I guess it could be controversial things, but maybe not. It's just things that can come up in
Our
interracial
reactions
relationships.
when we go out in public.
Well, that's one thing, but basically there are a few things that could clash a little bit in interracial relationships, certain differences. Don't do the eye roll, I saw you. Certain clashes that come up. And I don't know, you want me to start?
Yeah, you should start.
Okay. Um, Mike and I, we were looking at some kind of, I wouldn't call it a it was like a statue, but it was something commemorating the end of slavery. And it was like 1860 something. And then I made some remark like it really wasn't the end of slavery, or Michael, it was the end, and it was a big step to a new beginning. And I'm like, Mr. Historian, this is not the history you know too well, because being a sharecropper or being freed as a slave but have nothing to your name and no education, it was, and being conditioned for so long, it really wasn't much you can do, and not being able to vote, not having any rights,
and that's all very bad. But that's like I said that day, that there was a lot of Irish people that had that same exact way of life.
That's what he would say, like, but it wasn't the same thing as being enslaved and being held down and not being able to vote, not
that's right, and that's why that plaque is there, is because we put an end to the war.
And he says it ended 1866. So we wind up just not talking about it after that, because he was making comparisons. That's my cat that he apparently loves, but maybe not. So basically, that's one of those things we had to agree to disagree, because I wasn't going to agree with him and he wasn't going to agree with me. And I think that most things we might look at differently, even when we watch the news, and it could be a situation, and he just looks at it differently from what I look at it. One of my favorite things is when you want to go to certain places, and I know that it's going to be almost no chance of seeing anyone looks like me. So sometimes I don't say anything to him, because I don't mind where we go, but sometimes I am a little uncomfortable if I feel like I'm going someplace where I may not be wanted. No one wants to see anyone like me around there. And I know that people have never came up to us and be like, oh, we don't want y'all here. But I just feel like when I go to places where there's no one like me,
that doesn't mean the people there don't want you there.
I didn't say that. I just said it's just something that I feel. I just feel like when we go places, that you love, that don't have anyone that looks like me, I just feel kind of weird. I'm waiting to see how they act, and they can be pleasant and nice sometimes, but I don't like feeling like, oh, they don't want me around, So.
But I think we get more dirty looks from people that look like you, more so than people that look like me.
You have never told me that. The only time you told me is usually a couple of white women who looked at you dirty, and a couple of white men who looked at you dirty. You've never said anybody black looked at you dirty. Black people come at us online, but they don't. I've never seen someone black actually to our face. Like, I haven't seen anything. Like, what have you saw?
No one's ever said anything. No one's ever going to say anything. Yeah, you just tell by the way you look.
But you always tell me when somebody white, though. I've never seen anybody black, or you never said anything about anybody black saying anything.
Yeah, I said something to you today about it.
You said it, but the woman she was wearing a black swimsuit. You didn't tell me she was a black person.
Well, she wasn't. I don't know if she was black, but she wasn't white.
So she looked like she was tan.
I don't know. No, she was like Hispanic or something. I don't know.
Okay, and You said she looked at you.
She
like
looked at
was
me like,
disgusted.
yeah, like I was, like if looks could kill. I don't know, like
And
you
you
said.
wasn't sure
But
what it
like
meant.
you said, she could have just been in a bad mood that day. I don't know. I'm not a mind reader.
Yeah, I tried
You
to.
know,
I
but
really do try
sometimes
to be
when we go to
positive.
diners, there's like old people that look at us dirty, but that doesn't mean they don't like us, or we're not mind readers. Like we can.
Mikey, like you said, the other guy was like, "Oh, like how dare you?" You made me laugh when you waited until you always wait until we're out of the situation and someplace else. Like Michael never says anything while we're there. You just keep letting me be oblivious to everything, and then when we get someplace else, you'll tell me about whatever situation was.
Yeah.
That's cute. That's sweet. You don't want me to know about that. But I guess the last thing, and I know Michael is probably not expecting me to say this too much. I feel like when it comes to my hair, he's been pretty good about it because that's something new for him and he's supportive. But sometimes I feel like he wants me to hurry up. And women don't like being rushed anyway, but a black woman don't want to be rushed while she's trying to do her hair. It takes longer to do. It takes longer to style, longer to comb, longer to do anything to it. So when I feel like he wants me to hurry up, I'm frustrated inside because I really just want to take the time to do what I have to do to get it to look right. And he prefers that my hair is natural and I'll put it like a little hairpiece in there, a little quick joint, and just like the ponytail it up, and he just like fake hair, and I'm like,
It looks better when it's natural.
I don't know. The first year of our relationship, I was wearing fake ponytails. First date, I think I had a ponytail. Second date, I had a ponytail. Like, I was wearing it, like, a lot. And then I just went ahead and, like, okay, I'm going to go ahead back to more of a natural thing that I did for years. Because I had dreads for years way before I met Michael. So I said, let me just get back to my natural thing, get back to that. And then now, he's just like, oh, I don't know why you put in hairpieces, or why you doing that. Black women, we just don't want any comments on that.
I'm just trying to help you out.
I don't need help. We want us to let us do our thing.
If you want to walk out the door not looking good, I want to let you walk out the door not looking good then.
The thing is, you don't like a lot of things. You only like certain things. And you only, like, I can put in a hairpiece and look good, but you don't want me to wear a hairpiece anyway. So to me, it's not about looking good. It's about not looking the way you want me to look. He's so cold in that one. So, but we're just glad that whatever the issue is, we seem to be able to, I guess, no. When we talked about it, the issue with the plaque and the slave thing, you wanted to drop it. He wanted to drop it.
Because we weren't going to agree.
And I was having a discussion.
Times are tough for all races. Just shit happens. I don't like it's good for us now. So
yeah, he doesn't like to talk about the past, but he loves history.
I do like history, but
you like history and talk about when it's something like that. It's like I don't know. You feel like I'm pushing something on you, but I'm not like everybody else. Like I'm just having a conversation, but for some reason, like you get weird when I talk about it. Like I don't know why I can't talk about it. I know things are better, and I know people can achieve a lot and stuff, but I'm talking about back then, what my ancestors had went through, and it's like it was
horrible.
It seemed to rub you the wrong way when I bring it up. It's like I don't know. I'm just talking about it for conversation.
It just seems like when people talk about it, they talk about it like our race had it the worst. When all races had it bad at one point in time. There is no one race that just had the worst history ever.
I guess it's more recent, and it's pretty damn bad, Mike. It's bad.
Yeah, it was very bad.
You couldn't, like, you couldn't earn your freedom, and then after you were free, you still weren't allowed to do anything. You were still enslaved in a sense, because you were still being hunted and killed, and nobody was doing a thing about it. The police officers and the sheriff were the KKK. Like, it's like no one would help you. You were at the mercy of people. And you still couldn't vote, you still couldn't do anything. You was considered second-class citizens.
Yes,
and
I agree with that.
That kind of mindset and hate is like, it's still, you're still reminded of it. You know, my father, you know, I told you, he have stories, and I know that things are getting better through the years, but if you still have your own parents telling you stories of being mistreated and racism, and then me as a child witnessing people treating me different, even like police officers, or treat my brothers different. Like, you still can't feel like
different than how though. But
great.
Have you seen police officers treat anybody else? I don't know. I've had some occasions where cops are just total assholes.
You've had issues.
So and it wasn't because I was white. It was just because they're assholes.
Well, they didn't mention your color, but they have mentioned color. I can't quote what they said to my brother, but they was young. They was kids, and it was about color. Because they could have not mentioned color, but it was mentioned.
This is them being assholes.
This was the 80s. But when you think of a police officer, they're supposed to protect you. So it's like,
you know, the job of a police officer is to bring money in for the state.
Okay, that's a whole nother subject. And I have my timer going off because we're about to eat some good food. But there's a lot to unpackage there, so maybe we'll talk about it again. But thanks for watching. Have a good one.